Hiya, and welcome to Sylving. The only thing that I know about this game is beef. That's it. And the fact that I almost set my microphone on fire. So anyways, let's just hop right in before I flip the fuck out. This visual novel contains mature content, such as depictions of nudity and sex, violence and blood, discussion of trauma, and other sensitive subject matter. By continuing, you acknowledge that you are of legal age to view this content in your region. Wait. Hang on. Okay, so I have to be 18 to play this. Let me look at my ID. I want to make sure I'm old enough for this. Where's my fucking ID? I want to make sure I'm old enough for this. Ah, shit. Where did I put my ID? It is not in my wallet. Where it should be. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. Shit. Oh, wait, found it. Yeah, I'm old enough. Yay! I'm old enough. What is your name? Aaron. We're just going to stay with that. Fuck. One blinded by pride, their intention is different, but history will repeat itself. No. They will hunt, but it will bring no food to the table. The world is always changing, yet a stagnant mind brings nothing but misfortune. But wait. Oh-ho? What the fuck is that? What is that? Should I be concerned? Should I have been concerned? Are they doing what I think they're doing? Raj? Are they doing what I think they're doing? Are they doing what I think they're doing? The whole one website, you know the website, the one that everyone lies to get into. I'm gonna trust it. I'm gonna trust this, even though that is a terrible idea. Oh. What a peculiar scent. This passing breeze does not belong here, yet it seems so familiar to me. Oh, okay. Ho 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 ho. A naughty fox is prancing around where he doesn't belong, and he'll bring a new cub teeming with potential. So much fun to have. Change is finally coming to these dreary lands. The challenges that face him will be great, but he's not alone. Oh, what passion I see. Many stories have ended before, and now another will begin. Ho ho ho, I can't wait to meet our little cub. Okay. That's not concerning. I'm finally back. It's been a few years since I last saw this place. Okay, my laptop handled that information well, and now it's complaining about a static image. No matter how much this area changes with new buildings and newer junk, this spot always remains untouched. Just seeing the opening is getting me all nostalgic. I can't remember when I started, but I always loved coming to my cave as a kid, most often in the summer. The area is closed off like usual, but I never cared about that. This place has been run down for as long as I can remember. The only thing showing its private property is a broken, rusty fence. This static image. As far as I know, nobody's ever gotten in trouble for trespassing yet, so the idea of getting caught is the last thing on my mind. That's also my question. Heading in, the darkness quickly surrounds me, but the faint light from the entrance is enough to find my way. The moist, stuffy air weighs down on me. There's almost no airflow, and the smell of earth is quite powerful. The ceiling gets lower and lower as I make my way farther in. I miss the days when I was a kid and didn't have to bend down like this. After 20 long meters of hunching over, the exit's enchanting light frees me from the darkness. I always feel like Gollum when I see that light. My precious! Ow! And there it is, big and proud and vibrantly red as ever. My parents never knew about this cave. Whenever I wanted some space for myself, I came here. My own personal treehouse. Minus the house. I've never met anyone out here before. As far as I'm aware, no one else even knows about this place. Which is strange, come to think about it. A cave looking as wonderful as this would attract some attention. Couldn't even find it online. It's empty today as well, but I prefer it that way. I've always enjoyed having this place all to myself. The air is lighter and easier to breathe compared to the tunnel, but the dampness is still there. Did your entire account just get banned, or did you get banned from the server? Because if you got banned from the server, unless Lug banned you, I don't know how you got banned. Oh, your whole account got banned. Okay. Well, sorry to hear that. Just create a super secret new one. Shh, we won't tell anyone. Nah, don't worry about it. Oh, you can't make a new one. Oh, shit. Well, we're happy to have you here. The air is lighter and easier to breathe compared to the tunnel, but the dampness is still there. I walk up to the tree and drop my satchel at its base before zipping up my sweater. The chill in here is quite nice after enduring the hot weather outside. I inspect the tree, seeing if anything is out of place, but it's as beautiful as ever. The rough bark betrays no sign of human meddling. The walls of the cave are covered in moss and thick vines. Grass dots the rest of the clearing, with a crescent pond surrounding it all. The sun peeks through the giant hole above, shining through the branches. I'm relieved this place is still intact. There's been reports of theft and vandalism in the area lately, and I was worried they might have discovered my cave. Call me overprotective, not wanting this place to get ruined. As much as I'd like to, I can't stay to protect the cave every single day. I really hope they don't come here, but I'd better be prepared for the worst and try to remember the good times in here. I make a deep sigh and resign myself to make the most of it while I can. So I pull out my brand new smartphone. It's a fucking iPhone. What model, though? I don't know. My last phone had gotten quite old, so it's about time I got a new one, and this model has a much better camera. The filters on it will let me take the perfect picture to immortalize this place. Looks like an 8. That is definitely not an 8. It's a 10 or higher. I'm thinking it's an 11. Moving around to different spots of the cave, I snap a few pictures of the tree while searching for the best angle. My photography skills have improved a lot since my last visit, if I do say so myself. After taking many pictures from every angle in the cave, I finally feel satisfied with what I've got. It's actually an Arvo 20. Oh no. I only really came for the pictures, but it would be a shame to go so soon, and I came all this way. I wouldn't even know when's the next time I'll be able to pay a visit. Could be years again. Walking back to the tree, I plop down at its roots and lean back against it. My satchel and phone lie next to me as I run my fingers through the soft green grass. Remember the times I would come here and read my comic books, eat snacks, play with toys I had brought with me? Things were so different back then. All I've done for the past few years is work, and more work at an electronics store in the big city. Not that I should complain too much, the job is actually pretty decent, and I've always loved tinkering with electronics and learning how they work. And surprisingly, helping out customers has been fairly rewarding too. But every day was the same. I felt like I was stuck in a loop, so I packed up and moved back home. Now that I'm in my hometown, I deserve some time off before looking for a new job in the area. These past few days have kept me so busy because of the move, and it's so peaceful here, I might as well enjoy myself before getting back to it. I'll just rest for 5 minutes, then I'll go. Then order takeout for dinner, and it's been too long since I could just close my eyes and do nothing. Doing nothing is highly underrated. If only my job could be laying around and blissfully sleeping. The sound of footsteps followed by rustling right beside me. Is there someone else here? Guess I wasn't the only one coming here today. Oh, well, hello there. Opening my eyes, I can't see anything but a big blur in front of me. Must have gotten some dust in my eyes. I can't make out much of what I'm seeing, but I can tell he's reaching for something next to me. I rub my eyes, almost willing to...
It's time to drink
almost
water.
willing my vision to clear before looking up.
It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water. It's time to drink water.
Who the fuck? What the... A fox, dressed to the nines, is playing with his phone. His costume even has a big fluffy tail sticking out from under his cloak. Not exactly what I was expecting, especially not in this old cave. Is he a LARPer? I've seen people online dressing up in old-timey costumes, but the whole fox costume was a bit much. Is there, like, a furry Ren Fair convention in town or something? Hey. I wave my hand, trying to get his attention. Hello? How many more followers until I play FNAF VR? It's 45 more. It's another 45. The goal should be there. Is he a twink magician or a buff bandit? That is a good question. Hello? He's so focused on his phone. What could he be? Wait a second. Hey! That's my phone! What is wrong with this guy? Can't he hear me? No, he can definitely hear me. He's just pretending like he can't. Whoever this guy is, he clearly isn't all put together in the head. Hey. I'm talking to you. Getting fed up with his deaf routine, I get up on my feet and march forward. I said... Wrong knob. Turn that down. Turn this up. And I'm talking to you. He finally gives a response after raising my voice and grabbing his shoulder. Not exactly the sound I was expecting out of him, but I guess he's staying in character. He jumps back in complete surprise as if he's seen a ghost. By the elders, how can you see me? Okay, definitely a LARPer. No one talks like that unless they've watched too many fantasy movies. Or he's just delusional. He is, after all, wearing a full-body costume with medieval attire in a secluded cave. Now that I'm closer to him, his mask is pretty well made. The eyes look so real, and the way the mouth moves when he speaks is uncanny. Can't imagine how much it must have cost to get such a believable costume. The ears, the fur, the tail, everything. More importantly, though, he has my phone! What kind of maniac just swipes your phone and trolls through it right in front of you? Listen, I'm not sure what you want, but if you need help contacting someone, I can... What? Hey! Hey! Give me my phone back! Give me back my phone, you fucker! Give me back my phone! Stop right there! I chase after him, but he's already outpacing me. I shout at the top of my lungs, but he ignores it. He looks back for a moment, shocked that I'm still following, and breaks into a dead sprint. How is he so much faster than me? That costume should be too heavy for him to run in that speed. Hey, you ho! Give me back my fucking phone! All I'm gonna say is, actions have consequences. Let me adjust that. Alright. All I'm gonna say is, actions have consequences, and the consequence for that is, I don't think I'm allowed to say it, but it rhymes with Barson. He exits the cave long before I do. When I reach the threshold, I only catch a glimpse of him as he darts down the road. We're in a forest now? He must have come out of a different tunnel. I thought for sure that, after all the time I spent in my cave, that there was only the one exit. I put my focus back solely on the fleeing fox, running through the bushes ahead. With how dense the foliage is, I might lose him. Hey, you fuck! Give me back my phone! I attempt to gain ground by leaping over the brush the dirt road bends over. Looking left and right, I catch the fox guy turning a corner far ahead of me. He's astonishingly fast, even if he wasn't wearing such a cumbersome costume. Shouldn't he trip on his own tail or something? I'm already out of breath, and the farther we run, the farther away he gets. I don't know if I can keep this up. Before long, he's completely out of sight. Finally, out of the thick forest, my run comes to a slow stop. In this more open landscape, I can see for quite a distance. But there's no sign of him. I didn't realize I was in such terrible shape. My heart's pounding like crazy. How was that guy able to run so fast? What was an Olympic-level sprinter doing in such ridiculous costume? Stealing other people's phones. After a short rest, my breathing is mostly back to normal, but there's still this slight sting in my chest. You know what? I have just the thing. To find our phone. And it is even better. Hang on, I'm turning on the video capture. Turning this on. I have just the thing to find our phone. Where is it? Let me open up Launchpad. Find the app. Let me, grab it. Yes, you can use my current location. It's fucking, right here. Find my iPhone. Alright, that's enough of that joke. I hate that joke. After a short rest, my breathing is mostly back to normal, but there's still a slight sting in my chest. Well, maybe you shouldn't have been running, but I don't know. That's an idea. How do we do that with no phone? Here's how to find your phone. Step 1, take out your phone. Step 2, use Find My Phone. Step 3, track it in order to get to your phone. Step 4, beat the shit out of the fucker who took your phone in the first place. Step 5, lie to the police. It's been a while since I ran for this long. Wasn't all that far, really, but that's what I get for being a couch potato. Straightening myself up, I take a look around. A half-rotted fence is slumped on the side of the road, and a golden field of grain lies farther ahead. The thick forest and mountains beyond aren't really familiar to me at all. An uneasy feeling overtakes me, as if I'm not supposed to be here. We couldn't have gone too far. Maybe I just never knew there were mountains over this way. Which direction did we even go? Not wanting to give up on my phone, I walked down the road. Maybe someone saw the fox guy and which way he went. He sort of sticks out. The pain in my chest grows dull, spreading outward as I feel a headache coming on. That's when I see a familiar piece of fabric caught in a thorn bush on the side of the road. Okay, so he went in this direction. Maybe I can lure him to come back out for it. Hey, fox guy! I found a piece of your costume stuck to this bush. If you want to give me my phone back, we'll call it even. No answer. I was hoping he would show up so I could at least talk it out with him and have him return it. If this is some sort of prank, it's not funny. My headache is getting worse. I'm feeling feverish and sick and sweating even though it's actually kind of cool out. When did the temperature change? It was supposed to be a scorcher. Letting out a loud, frustrated groan, I grabbed the torn fabric from the bush. Not sure what to do with it, but it's something. Stuffed it in my pocket. I just hope he doesn't unlock my phone before I can have it blocked. Oh no, he's going to discover our mounds and mounds of furry art. It's strange how big this forest is. If I had known all this was on the other side of the cave, I would have explored it years ago. But for now, I'm just hoping to find my way home before I get a migraine. It's hard to think straight through the throbbing pain, feeling hotter by the second. Did I come this way? No, not here. I think maybe the turn was further down. My head. The pounding is getting worse. Every heartbeat makes it feel like my skull will crack open from the inside. My whole body is sweating like crazy, making my clothes stick to my skin. I open my sweater and fan the flaps against my torso. Anything to cool down. The pain in my chest is now an intense ache when I breathe. It's like my lungs are screaming at me not to take in the air. Every bone in my body itches like crazy, like ants crawling under my skin. I can't think anymore. My steps are getting more and more sluggish the farther I walk. Clutching my chest, I realize far too late that something isn't right. I double over, just trying to breathe. I can feel my heartbeat pulse through my entire body. Everything feels wrong. I need help. I try to yell for help, but my voice won't come out. All I can do is gasp for air. The harder I try to breathe, the more difficult it becomes. What is wrong with... Ah, fuck, we died. Did my alarm go off? My whole body feels sore. Feels like I was hit by a car. A very big car. Repeatedly. Oh my god, Truck Coon, is that you? Try to turn over, but my body just has no
Body
energy
has
to
been
move.
discovered.
Truck coon. Body, how can you betray me like this? I thought we were friends. What time is it? I didn't hear my alarm go off. Struggling to reach my hand out, I feel for my nightstand, but I only feel more space on my bed. I don't remember it being this wide. Hope I plugged my phone in before I went to sleep. My phone? My phone! I jump into a sitting position as my eyes fly wide open, looking around frantically for my phone, but I sat up too fast and slumped back down dizzy. I found myself on something soft in a brightly lit room. Sharp sunlight shines from the right. I squint until my eyes adjust. Where am I? Truck coon, how could you? Sitting up fully on the soft bed, I grip the silky red sheet that's covering me. Slowly it dawns on me how truly unfamiliar my surroundings are. All the furniture look like antiques, and I can't see any lights, outlets, or any trappings of modern interior. I actually kind of like Coconut. There's a chest made of solid wood with intricate carvings. It looks handmade. The features look a bit asymmetrical in parts. Not that I'm judging the craftsmanship. Clearly whoever made it knew what they were doing and did a far better job than I ever could. A similarly designed wardrobe stands on the opposite end of the room. It's so tall it almost grazes the ceiling. It's a wonder how anyone could get it through the door in the first place. Next to me is a big wooden tub. Very simple. 2 metal hoops holding it together. Turning my eyes to the right, I see a drawer with a big mirror on top and a candelabra. I remember my grandma actually had something like this in her bedroom. I think she called it a vanity. Little carved accents give it a simple elegance. Not that I'm an antique connoisseur, but it's way nicer than any of my furniture. Here's the thing. The last time I had Coconut was a few years ago. I think it was like, son of a bitch, over 10, like a little under 10 years ago. So I haven't had it in a while, but last time I had it, it wasn't half bad. Like, you couldn't taste it. I don't know, but it's way nicer than any of my furniture. I look around some more to see some red drapes, a painting, and a shield? I've never seen a real shield in real life before, but it strikes me as an odd thing to decorate a room with. This setup would be picture perfect if it wasn't for my shoes and sweater in the middle of it all. No McFlurry, Sag. Wait, how did I even get here? My mind's still trying to wake up, and I'm not entirely convinced I'm not dreaming. The floor creaks from behind the door. Is there someone coming? Are you up, stranger? I heard you shout. A deep and husky voice comes through the door. I don't know why, but I feel uneasy. Are we going to answer him or stay quiet? Oh no. We're gonna die. We're gonna answer him. Hello? My voice is raspy and weak. I didn't realize it until now, but my throat is painfully dry. Oh. Oh.
And this, my friends, is where we're about to meet someone that'll open our floodgates.
Oh. Well, hello there. Best wishes. Um. Um. I have a couple questions for you. One, are you single? 2, are you single? 3, are you single? He definitely drank his milk and ate his veggies growing up. The first thing that I look at in a man is his heart. The fact that his tits are in the way is entirely not my fault. Good, you're finally awake. Wolf! Werewolf! Big werewolf! I'm relieved to see you're in better condition today. The big werewolf comes closer. I have to tilt my head back to meet his gaze due to his towering height. Is a bit too muscular. Here's the thing. It should be no secret. I have a type. And it is very concerning. He almost meets my type, but close enough. He's close enough, and I will take that over not having someone. I will take that. His milk is mine. So sorry, I already drank it. Your fever was dangerously high when I found you. I'm relieved you managed through the night. He leans forward, placing his hairy hand against my forehead. I'm so stunned I'm completely frozen. Has your fever gone down? I jump back in bed with a silent scream sucking in air. I stare at him wide-eyed. And my apologies, I didn't mean to startle you. I should have asked before touching you so suddenly. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. Take one look at all the characters that I've simped over the entire history of this channel. Take one look at all the characters that I simped for, and you will have my type. I should have asked before touching you so suddenly, but it looks like you're well enough to move. That's a relief. How are you feeling, stranger? I'm too busy reeling from the sight of him, answering him without thinking. Fine. That's good to hear. Can I ask you to stay in bed for a little longer? You just woke up, and I'd like you to take things slow. Uh-huh. A werewolf. An actual werewolf. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Agnar. May I have your name? I can't very well keep calling you stranger. He chuckles, and my apprehension is chipped away little by little. This isn't exactly what I was expecting when meeting a werewolf for the first time. The magical power of wolf titties saved our life. Aaron. Aaron, quite a fine name for a lion. It suits you. For a lion? I guess that's a compliment, but why a lion? And why is he being so polite? Not exactly what movies led me to expect from a werewolf. Muscular gay men. Pretty much. I guess I wouldn't have any idea of how an actual werewolf should act. Given my limited knowledge comes exclusively from horror flicks, I should just be happy he's not mauling me right now. This guy's way too polite to be any kind of werewolf that I know of. Struggling for words, I put a hand on my face as I scan the room again. Am I really awake? My face feels strange. Feeling around my cheeks, nose, and mouth, everything is strangely lumpy, and things seem to be out of place. At least there's no pain, but something is definitely wrong. What happened to my face? My face is all big and swollen. When I found you, aside from your fever, you looked unharmed. Don't worry. There are no lumps or bruises to be found on your muzzle. Here, have some water. You need to drink a lot when you have a high fever like that. He leans to the side and pulls up a mug from the floor. I didn't even notice it was there, being so close to the bed that I couldn't see it. Here, there's more in the pitcher when you need it. Before I can grasp the mug, I see my own hand for the first time since waking up in this bizarre place. But it's not my hand. This one is covered in short, light hair? Fur? My hand. Your what? I raise my left hand only to see it's the same as well. Rub the hands on the arms, feeling fingers stroking fur as if I was petting a cat, but it's like an out-of-body experience. Like my brain can't quite resolve the conflict of sensation and expectation. Is this really my arm? Ah, you mean your paw. Does it hurt? No, but why are my arms covered in fur? We turned into a furry, truly a dream come true. I'm pretty sure some people would kill for this experience. The big werewolf immediately goes silent. The tension cutting the air feels as sharp as any knife. Shouldn't have said that. I don't want to disturb the wolf, especially not before I can figure out what's going on. Whatever's wrong with me, it'll be safest to act natural and take things in stride for now. Play along now, panic later. I mean, why is my fur so orange today? It must be the light in here. My mind's been pretty foggy since I woke up. I'm all over the place right now. Ah, you're a jokester, I see. But that's a good sign. If you feel good enough to joke, you must be doing much better already. Try to give a smile back to him, but it's hard to muster one while thinking about whatever is going on with me. Joking aside, you'd better drink up. Your body needs all the water it can get if you're sick. Handing the sizable mug of water to me, I accept it carefully. There's more water in the pitcher next to the bed. Drink as much as you can. I've never seen you in the village before, Aaron. Are you new in these lands? I guess. Where are you from? I'm from a town not too far from here, I think. Really? The nearest town is a day's journey. Can you tell me the name of your town? Doesn't seem like it's a good idea to answer that question, but at the same time it seems like a worse idea to lie. Not knowing what else to do, I just look down and keep quiet. You seem a bit tense. Maybe you still haven't fully recovered. There should be some rivel root somewhere in the house. A cup of it should help calm your nerves. Do you like rivel root, Aaron? I've never heard of a root like that. Sounds very medicinal. Sure, I can handle bitter drinks. That's good. You stay here and rest while I go downstairs and fetch it. And with that, he walks out the door. Finally alone again, my hands are shaking. I can't believe I just talked to a real werewolf. Looking down at the water in the mug, I carefully lift it to my lips. I take a long gulp, the cool water rehydrating my throat. Water spills out from the sides of my mouth and drips onto my shirt. Try not to think about it and just chug down what I can. I'll worry about what's wrong with my mouth later. I set the empty mug on the bed next to me and release a great sigh of relief. I really needed that. Looking down over the blanket, I can make out the shape of my legs. If my arms are like this, then does that mean... Pulling the blanket away, I can see that my feet are now covered in the same light orange fur, and my feet must have been replaced. With paws with wide toes and claws. Lifting up my shirt, I can see a fluffy belly with white tuft poking out from my pants. Scent of sweat hits my nose, making my nostrils flare, and I cringe. I cover my nose inadvertently, feeling that odd lump on my face again. My face! Shivers run up my spine as the implications override my shock. I need to look at myself in the mirror right now. I hop off the bed and onto my feet, only to immediately fall over. Ow! Using the stool next to the vanity, I pull myself back up. My legs are shaking like a newborn fawn. I didn't expect it to be so difficult to stand up on these feet. Putting one hand on the drawer, I push most of my weight against it and face the mirror. In its reflection, I don't see myself. Instead, I see a lion man wearing my clothes. I raise my hand towards my face, and the lion does the same with his. My fingers feel short, bristly fur. The fur has a warm light color to it. The cream white muzzle is capped with a broad pink nose. The eyes have a radiant blue color. The contrast with the orange fur makes him stand out more. There's a patch of white fur on his head, roughly swept back like a mohawk and nestled between round feline ears. Staring at him for a long, long time, the truth of what I'm seeing slowly washes over me. Looking closer, I catch something moving in the corner of my eye. Turn to look behind me, and down at the base of my spine is a white-tipped tail flicking back and forth. Feeling around my lower back, my hands find the base of the tail slipping over the belt line. I have a tail? Hearing the door creak open behind me, I jump back against the vanity, nearly falling over and taking it with me. You're quite the jumpy one, aren't you? I'm glad to see you up and about, but you really should take it slow. Couldn't find any rivel root in the house, so I'll need to head out. For now, you'd better eat some bread. You're out for a whole day and are probably starving. Still, you need to be careful to eat light today since you've been ill. Offers me what I can only assume is a big bread roll in his hand. Sitting down on the padded stool, I stare up at him and take the bread from his hand. It's really hard. If it weren't for the weight, I'd assume he just grabbed a rock from outside to mess with me. Think about the MC's new body. I like it. It smells somewhere between old grain and chalk. I can't see any mold on it, but I have to wonder when exactly it was baked. How old is this bread? It's fine, I just bought it, so there's no need to fret. Go ahead and eat. No good comes from an empty stomach. Yay, bread! But it's so hard. It might be, but a lion like you shouldn't have any trouble with it. Do I really have to eat this? Pretty sure that if I bite into this bread, I'll break every single tooth I have. With how empty my stomach is right now, I'm desperate enough to try. Find a crack at the edge of the roll, putting my teeth to it as I carefully bite down. It's really dry, but it's not so bad. It's like eating a cracker. I take another bigger bite, clenching my eyes, preparing for the worst. There's a loud, dull crunch in my mouth, like chewing dry cereal. Worried it might be the sound of my teeth crumbling, but it feels like they survived the ordeal. The bread isn't as bad as I thought, but the taste is extraordinarily plain. I didn't know how hungry I was until I finally got something in my belly. Before I know it, I've scarfed down the whole thing. Finishing the bread, I see the big werewolf spin, quietly staring at me. You managed to eat it all. Must mean your fever's almost gone. When I found you, I picked up what I could find, but I'm not certain if this was everything. Are you missing any belongings? I only found these things by your feet. He's pointing at my shoes and I'm sitting on my sweater. But there is one thing that's not here. I don't see my satchel. Where did you last see it? It was with me in the clearing of the cave next to the big red tree. People are wise to avoid the caves in the forest. They're not safe. Especially the one with that tree. He waves his hand at the corner of the room. I can only assume the cave's in that general direction. What were you doing there? Did you go there with anyone else? No, I was just visiting my old cave. Your cave? That cave is no laughing matter. Are you saying it belongs to you? I didn't mean it like that. It's just a cave I played in as a kid and I wanted to visit it. No one goes into that cave just to visit it. He takes a step forward, pinning me against the table. What were you doing in there? I didn't do anything. What did you do in that cave, Aaron? I said I didn't do anything. I don't even know what's going on. Where am I? Why do I look like this? I'm starting to really freak out. I don't even know if I'm safe right now with this werewolf glaring at me. I can feel my emotions swell in my throat, but I'm too scared to look away. A heavy silence fills the room, broken only by the faint mumbles and noises drifting through the window. We stare at each other uncomfortably for a painfully long amount of time. You're clearly not feeling well. You need more time to rest. I must go out for a while. Stay here until I return. Bitch! Without another word, he's gone. I can hear his heavy steps followed by the sound of a door opening and closing downstairs. Feeling a little relieved, I register a sharp pain in my hands. Looking down, I see that I've held them clenched tight and it hurts to open them. These new sharp claws have dug deep into my palm. They're not bleeding, but I have left deep red marks in them. Just what happened to me? Yeah, it's time to cry. What is that werewolf after? Why would he take care of me? And what was with the interrogation? I'm not a real lion, man, thing. I want to be honest, but I don't even know what he expects me to say. He's not happy with how evasive I'm being. But it's not like he was explaining himself all that much better. And now I have to sit here and wait for him to come back. What the hell am I thinking? I can't stay here. On my phone to call for help, my only option to find my way back through the cave ASAP. Leaning down and grab my shoes. I can only hope that Wolf won't be back anytime soon. Come on, get in there! Damn it, why did my toes have to get so big? My new feet have gone up a few sizes, making it impossible to get my shoes on. I really don't want to go out barefoot, but I can't even get my toes in properly. Stupid claws, stupid toe beans. Can I even call them toes anymore? They're as big as potatoes now. Stupid potatoes, toes. Ugh. After several tries to maneuver my foot in, I give up in frustration. No matter what I do, I can't wear them when my feet are like this. Shoes or not, I need to get out of here before he gets back. I wrap my shoes in my sweater and hug the bundle to my chest before standing up. But standing proves to be quite the challenge. Putting the weight on my heels feels off, but I'll have to get used to it as I go. I take a step, flailing an arm around like I'm walking on a tightrope. To get any sort of balance, I widen my gait and take slow,
It's time
small,
to drink
deliberate
water.
steps toward the door.
It's time to drink water. It's time to
send
drink
that-
water.
We have to learn how
It's
to walk
time to drink
too?
water.
Oh no. We're like a newborn baby, but worse. Yay! Opening it to face a much greater obstacle. Stairs. I'm not even out of this room and I've already hit a snag. The individual steps aren't long enough, making my toes go over the edge. The only way to get any real footing is to turn my foot sideways. Girly. Just fall. I steady myself against the wall as I carefully take them one at a time. Don't slip, don't slip, don't slip. It's not fast, but it's the safest way down. I let out the breath I'd been holding halfway down as my feet finally meet stable ground again. After I look up the stairs I bested, I turn around to find myself in an old-timey kitchen. It's pleasant and quaint. The sunlight streaming in through the window is enough to brighten up the whole room. I find myself taking it all in. Cupboards, dining table, bench, and a wood-burning oven. Everything is very well maintained, and the scene feels quite cozy. I even have a black pot sitting on the kitchen table. I can smell the spice rack from across the room, but my nose struggles to identify the different scents. If anything, there are too many of them. Better not try to focus on the smells right now and see what other things are here. There's a hanger above the stove with a number of dried goods like meat, yellow flowers, and I think that's garlic? They're shaped like garlic, but the color is off and the skin has an unusual sheen to it, even in the low light. At first glance, I thought I recognized everything, but in fact, I haven't seen most of these ingredients before, like the short blue mushrooms. There's also what looks like a bunch of red grapes with fuzzy skin, like what peaches have. I think the curly things are beans. I shake my head, snapping out of it. This isn't the time to get distracted. I make my way to what must be the front door and pull it open. Aaron, that was your worst idea. Oh boy. I'm sure what I was expecting. I could barely manage a talking werewolf. I'm not sure how to handle an entire town full of animal people. Maybe I should have taken a peek out the window first. I sidle back to the living room and take a glance outside. Sidle back. Sidle? I don't know. Animals of all shapes and sizes. Squirrels, moose, lizards, all walking upright and dressed in medieval clothing. I'm starting to have second thoughts about running out the door. I won't exactly blend in with what I'm wearing. One step out there and I'll stick out like a whale in the jungle. I bet they'll think I'm a weirdo. At worst, they'll hunt me down and burn me as a witch. But if I stay here, the big wolf will come back and ask more questions. Well, he did act nice to me. He's clearly fishing for something, and I'm not sure what he'll do once he has it. Getting out of here is my best bet. The sooner, the better. If I'm lucky, they might ignore me and think I'm just some weird, harmless guy. At least I hope so. Holding my bundle tightly in my arms, I ready for myself for the first steps out there. Well, here goes nothing. I step out into the streets, looking around in amazement at the strange place I found myself in. Small children race between the legs of their parents. Small mice and kitten run past me with sticks in hand. A number of food stalls sit across the street. Their owners shout over each other in a contest to drum up the most attention for their wares. Freshly baked bread, right out of the oven. Come get them while they're hot. Only 2 kroner. Squitzos, Jolois, Mambaras. You won't find fruits and vegetables better than these in all of Naufort. It's certainly an aggressive sales tactic. Do they yell like this all day? Though with the number of people they're drawing in, I can't argue with the results. Take a moment to get my bearings. The werewolf pointed somewhere in this direction, straight down the street. Like your funny words, salesman. Try to appear as inconspicuous as possible. Doing my best to stay out of everyone's way, however, the uneven road when paired with my new feet makes walking naturally impossible. Still, I can't help but take in the hustle and bustle of this town. See, some people are dressed in nice, clean clothing, while others look worn and ragged. I pass by 3 ladies standing next to one of the stalls, and their chatter emerges from the white noise of the crowd. One of them is saying something like, My husband's always porking horse on the farm, when now he's the size of a farm. At that, all 3 erupt in a piercing cackle. If it wasn't for all the animalistic features, they'd all easily pass for human, even down to body language and how they gossip. Keeping my gaze forward to avoid eye contact, I do my best to avoid bumping into anyone, which is proving difficult because something behind me is throwing off my balance left and right. Taking a look back, I see the tail swishing like crazy. Could you stay still for just a minute? Whisper to it as if it could hear me. That just made it thrash about even more. I give up on calming in and start trudging again. My balance really could do without this tail. Just chop it off. Reaching a crossroad, I can see the woods in the distance, down a path leading out of the village. Exiting the market, I pass a few residential-looking houses before emerging from the town. There's a nice mill house churning merrily above a stream. With a bridge beside it, I can only hope my way back lies beyond. I just wish I had my phone now. No one back home is going to believe I came to a place like this. I hurry to the bridge, almost home free, when my footing fails me and I fall into someone green. His skin is ice cold to the touch when I push myself off of him. Seeing that he's carrying a shell behind him, he must be a turtle. He's just a few inches shorter than me. My eyes shoot down to his left arm, or lack thereof. The sleeve is tied into a knot. Looking back at his face, he's scowling at me. The furrows on his brow is obvious as a scar on his left eye. Sorry. I stare at the ground, giving him a weak apology. I turn up and jog across the bridge, just to get away from this awkward moment. It took longer than I'd have liked, but eventually the village is out of sight and I'm finally alone again. I let out a long breath, loosening the grip on the bundle in my arms. I don't know how many of them took note of me, but I don't really care at this point. I got out of there, and I'm never going back. I look down at my feet as I walk forward. The tail is mostly calmed down, making the walk much easier for me. Soon enough, I met with the familiar scenery. The field of yellow grain, the stone wall, the rotten fence, it's all here. This is where I last saw that fox guy. Who I know now wasn't just some guy in a costume. I was chasing after a real walking, talking, clothes-wearing fox. If I had known this, I wouldn't have chased him. For all I know, he could have bitten me when he had the chance. Guess I should be glad he didn't attack me back then. I've been through this way twice now, so I recognize the trees. This is around the spot I lost sight of him, so I must be close. Most of the trees are the same as I'd seen back home, but that one twisting in on itself with the purple leaves is something I've never seen before. Getting farther into the woods, I catch sight of a small stone trail leading off the road. This has to be the way back to that cave. After a minute of maneuvering around brush and other overgrowth on the trail, I arrive back at the opening of that cave. The entrance is built like a shrine with some inscribed stone columns. It was clearly abandoned long ago, judging by the shambles it's in. The tree has partially destroyed the top of the entryway, prying apart the stonework and crumbling what's left of the pillars. I can understand why the big wolf said people don't go here. The entrance on my side is much less ominous compared to this one. I feel a bit scared to walk through it, but it's the only way back home that I know of. As I make my way through the tunnel, I realize how much more spacious the side is compared to my end. I can easily walk upright, which I didn't really notice when sprinting through it the first time. The air is still heavy and cold, so at least that hasn't changed. The tunnel opens out and I feel a wave of relief as I see the big red tree. Never been happier to see my old tree than I am now, though it's strange coming in from this side of the cave. Make a beeline through the clearing, passing the tree toward the tunnel where home should be, completely forgetting my satchel. But the tunnel isn't there. Where? How? I drop my sweater and shoes, pressing my hands against where the exit should be, moving them about. There's just a solid wall. Was there a cave-in? Look around for any signs of collapse, but the wall looks like there was never a tunnel to begin with. You have a testing knock, maybe, hoping maybe the stone is hollow, but it's solid. Another wave of panic starts to wash over me. Pound my fists against the stone, but nothing changes. Nothing budges. Let me out of here! I don't understand what's going on, but I can't just stop here. Keep pounding at the wall, shouting even louder. Let me out! But nothing changes. The wall stands firm. All that's changed is now that my hand is in pain from punching solid rock. Grab a heavy stone from the ground and hurl it at the wall with everything I've got. My yell echoes through the cave, as does the heavy clunk of the rock hitting the wall. Nothing. There's nothing but an impassable rock wall. I'm so confused. Am I even in the right cave? I can obviously see that everything is how it's supposed to be. The tree, the lake, the vines hanging down on where they should be. Everything is as it should be. This is my cave, except the tunnel switched. Why? How? Everything else is the same. Why would the tunnel just disappear? My head is spinning. I'm too overwhelmed to make any sense of it all. Feeling lightheaded, I move back to the tree and sit against its trunk. I pull my knees to my chest, my body heavy with defeat. I stare off into the water, fighting off the waves of emotion that have been building up. The only thing I can think of is that if the tunnel switched places once, maybe they can switch again. Maybe if I just wait, it's bound to go back to how it used to be. Nothing's changed. It's been hours now, but the new tunnel is still there and the old one still isn't. I adjust my sitting again, my butt starting to feel sore. I just have to wait here until it turns back to the way it was. It's going to! It has to! Looking up through the big hole above me, I see the sky dim with the warm pink and yellow hues of the late afternoon. I start to consider what I should do if the old tunnel doesn't come back soon. Should I keep waiting? I'm scared that if I leave, I'll miss my chance. My stomach's rumbling. If I had planned on staying this long, I would have packed snacks or grabbed a bite to eat before leaving the house. There are those blue mushrooms in the wolf's kitchen. If they're edible, I might be able to find some in the woods. And the water in here is crystal clear, so I can drink it, probably. It's not exactly an ideal plan, but it's not like I've got many other options right now. Thinking hard about what to do, I spend my time exploring this body. Reach up to my head and feel my big, rounded ears. They're really very soft. Kind of nice to rub them, even if a little comforting. Looking at my own hand again, I feel the pads on my fingertips and palm. Everything else is covered in fur. Still can't believe my body changed like this. Footsteps. Look over to see a massive brown figure emerging from the tunnel. I can feel my blood go cold as I recognize him. Footsteps slow and soften as he approaches. I cover my head with my arms, hoping that it'll just magically go away. Aaron. Damn it. Listen, I'm here to help you. I really am. But to do that, I need you to tell me what you know. Okay, I'll gladly tell you what you know as soon as you get rid of that giant fuck you sword. I don't want to see him. I want the stream to end. I don't want you to be afraid of me. I really do want to help. Regardless of your answers, I won't hurt you. You have my word. His tone of voice is softer and slower than last time. It's serious, but in a more composed and caring sort of way. I slowly look up to see him standing next to me under the tree. He looms over me, tall enough to grip one of the lower branches in the tree. Still, he doesn't seem tense. If it's too much for you to speak, you can nod or shake your head. Do you understand? I clench my jaw, swelling hard as if that's some sort of response. Are you a Sylving or perhaps an Uter? Sylving? Uter? I give him a worried look. I have no idea what he's talking about. It's alright, you don't have to answer. Can you at least tell me if you're from here? I hold my breath and force myself to shake my head. Did you try to get back to where you came from? I nod. Through this cave? I stare at where my tunnel should be, longing for it to at last reappear, but it's still just a wall. I look back up at the wolf and nod. Did you see a fox here? Did you chase him? The fox? How does he know about the fox? And I feel like the wolf knows much more than he's letting on. Still, I end up chasing after him after he stole my phone, and right now seems like the worst time to avoid his question, so I give him a nod. Aaron. You're not really a lion, are you? My blood goes cold. He knows that I'm not like him. Like any of them. I hold my knees to my chest, preparing myself for what he'll do next. But he just stands there looking at me. I see. For now, I need you to come back with me to the village. Can you stand? Back to the village? I spent all afternoon trying to leave, and I'm not keen on returning there. But my tunnel is still missing. Do I even have a choice? Says he wants to help, and while I don't really have a reason to trust him, I don't have a reason to doubt him either. I uncurl, using the tree for balance as I hoist myself back onto my feet. My legs are a little numb from sitting for so long, but I keep myself upright. You must take your belongings with you. Right, almost forgot again. Grab my satchel and stuff my shoes into it. I pull my sweater on and follow the wolf out of the cave. Oh. Well, hello there. After walking in silence for some distance, I look up at the wolf. He's a couple steps ahead of me, but he's maintaining a slow pace to match mine. Oh, Lord. When I see him glance back at me, my eyes snap straight down and I focus entirely on the road. Can't believe I'm going back with him. Damn, boy, he's thick. He is dummy thick. I feel the silence between us growing heavier and more awkward. After a while, I look back at him. I can see he's carrying a sword strapped to his back. It's enormous, yet on him it looks a little small. Pommel and hilt look sturdy enough, but the sheath looks battered and plain. Eat it. Looking lower, I find myself watching his big brown tail. It sways in a smooth rhythm in sync with his stride, swinging left and right. Left and right. Left, right. Ask me. What? You're a stranger in this land. You have questions. I'll answer the best I can, but you need to understand that I don't know everything. Oh. He's right. I have a million questions. Oh yeah, we are thirsty. Do you know what happened to me? When it comes to how you got here, I have an idea. But for your body, I don't know. So when you found me, I didn't look different to you? No, all I saw was you, a lion, passed out on the side of the road. I was told that a Sylving came out of the forest. I went to look for it to make sure it wouldn't be a threat. But I found you instead. Your clothing was strange, and there's odd things next to your feet. But you were unmistakably a lion then, just as you are a lion now. The fever you had was dangerously high. I tried to wake you, but you were out cold. So I carried you back to the village, hoping you would recover and tell me what happened. Thought you might have been involved because of your unusual garb. When you finally awoke, I was relieved. You had been asleep for over a day, and the speed of your recovery wasn't anything short of a miracle. But from the moment you saw me, I knew something wasn't right. Most of what you said didn't make a lick of sense. The way you reacted and the answers you gave. I first thought you could be an eccentric noble who just liked to wear strange clothing. Or an Uter in disguise. Rivelroot has a milk-like taste, by the way. What? Rivelroot said you could handle a bitter taste. But it isn't bitter. It's a common household ingredient, so you not knowing that made me worried. I gave you the benefit of the doubt and assumed your mind was still clouded by the fever. When you told me about the cave with the red tree, I suspected the worst and thought you might be dangerous. I was ready to restrain you should you abandon the facade. But that was a mistake on my part, and I am sorry. You were obviously frightened. Had I not overreacted, you would have seen that you honestly had no idea what was going on. He gives a deep sigh and rolls his eyes, as if scolding himself. I really went to fetch you those roots. There was no point in questioning you further when you were genuinely confused. I was hoping that by that time I returned, you would have calmed down and been more willing to talk. Never imagined you'd take off like that. Not right after waking up from such a severe fever. I rubbed the back of my neck. Sure, I feel a little bad for running off, but it's not like the wolf had been doing much to put me at ease. I was scared. No, I understand. I should have been more careful. I can only imagine what you're going through. But to think that you're Sylving of all things. The big wolf goes silent again, getting lost in his thoughts. I want to ask what that word means, but it doesn't feel right to ask that now. The streets are mostly empty as we enter the village. The street lights are lit and we don't pass a soul on our way to the market. The busiest stalls from earlier are now closed and silent. Two drunks are coming down the street towards us. One's shirt is too small to hide his gut and the other's breast has slipped out of her dress on one side. Both yell and laugh boisterously. I hide myself behind the wolf, not wanting to be seen or worse, bump into them. Reaching the house, I wait next to him as he unlocks the door. You need your rest. We'll figure out what to do next in the morning. You're lucky I ran into Gare. Gare? The old turtle. He lost an arm and is blind in his left eye. Oh, the turtle man I bumped into. I passed him on the street while looking for you, so you should be thankful for him telling me. There are dangerous creatures in this world that can do unspeakable things. No matter who or what you are, staying in the woods alone at night is a death sentence. If you want to get home, I need you to stay inside until further notice. Understand? I nod, wondering what in this world could possibly be more dangerous than this big guy. You should go upstairs. Things will unfold early tomorrow. With luck, we can send you back before things get more complicated. Without another word, I sulk up the stairs. I don't have as much trouble going up as down. Small victories. The room is dark and quiet. Even those drunks on the street below have passed out of earshot. I drop my satchel to the floor before letting myself fall into the bed. I roll over onto my back and stare blankly up at the ceiling. This whole day's been crazy. I'm angry, confused, just done with everything. I just want to take a few pictures of my tree, relax for a bit, and go home. That was it. If I had just left when I intended, or gone for another day, or anything... I clench my fists to relieve stress, but the sharp prick of my claws makes me gasp and recoil. So I release a dissatisfied sigh instead. We're going to stop it for the ad. Want to break from the ads? Ow! Do your no ads dance. No! Plug, not your bones! Ah! None of this should have happened. Instead, I ended up chasing after a thieving fox and then got taken to a town of animal people by some enormous wolf man. But tomorrow we'll get this fixed and everything will go back to normal. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I roll onto my side and stare at the darkest corner of the room. Even though the wolf knows I'm not really aligned, he promised he'd help me get home. He will let me go home, right? He called me a Sylving. Is that something bad? Grabbing the pillow, I hug it tightly to my chest and close my eyes. Really shouldn't be thinking like this right now. Like it or not, he's the only person I can rely on in this place. I just hope I can trust him. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Oh, that is cute. That is adorable. Oh my god. Anyways, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.